Hey, what's up guys? So we're here to go over the best healers right now in Season 18 of Overwatch, aka Roll-Lock, aka the 222 meta. So anyways, the gameplay that you guys are going to be seeing is on one of my higher ranked accounts. However, in the lower ranked sections of the game, I feel like a lot more people are still playing Rein Zarya. However, this is mostly what would be considered the shield meta, where you will see Sigma and Orisa very often, and that's kind of what dictates some of the meta of this season. Now, that being said, just because you play some of these heroes that are considered lower on the tier list doesn't mean that they're going to be terrible picks and you should never play them. Sometimes, depending on the team composition, it's totally okay to go ahead and play, let's say, Brig and Zenyatta. But for the most part, some heroes have kind of fallen off, and that happens with a lot of different games. You kind of have the flavor of the month, and this month, it's definitely going to go ahead and be Moira. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into the tier list, as well as back up some of the facts that will basically help you choose perhaps what you want to play this season as a healer. So anyways, in the S tier category, which I would consider the best healer right now, 100% in the game, is going to be Moira. And that is simply due to the ease of play. If you're interested in picking up a new healer this season, Moira is a relatively easy hero to learn versus, let's say, Ana, where you will technically be able to miss your shots, where it's a little bit more difficult to mess up as Moira. More of the mess ups really come down for you putting your fade on cooldown too fast, or not really utilizing it correct, or basically not communicating with your team to press W when you say, I have coalescence, let's play aggressive here. That's usually the only times that you'll really be messing up. It just really comes down to the communication, which that's across all heroes, but basically try to coordinate stuff with your team. That's the best tip I can give for you guys. But anyways, Moira has actually skyrocketed. If we go ahead and look at Overbuff over here, this is in the previous month over here. You can see at the highest rank section of the game via Overbuff, you can see the pick rate for Ana, Mercy, and Baptiste are in the top 3, where we have Moira at an 8.9% pick rate. Now this was again last month, but look at Moira's pick rate now. It has skyrocketed. It's at over triple the amount it used to be, which is actually insane. Again, sometimes when heroes get reworked, there can be buffs and nerfs. Basically what it comes down to is our fade has gotten a little bit of a buff, and on top of that, the meta has shifted over to running double shields most of the time. Again, sometimes in the lower rank sections game, it won't be something that you'll have to face every game, but if you're playing at the higher rank section of the game, it's going to be Orisa Sigma majority of the time. And just throwing out your damage orbs can actually be quite effective as Moira. Now you can see the lowest pick rate right now in this season is going to be Brig as well as Zenyatta. I know we also see Symmetra here, but ignore that stat because that's actually something that Overbuff hasn't changed, because Symmetra was actually in the support category in Overwatch for the longest time, and then they ended up moving her to a different category. But nonetheless, Moira's pick rate has actually skyrocketed, and then we have Lucio as number 2, and number 3 is Ana. But again, that's at the highest rank section of the game. Sometimes those data numbers can be kind of skewed because there's not that many people that play a certain hero, or maybe there's only a handful of players that actually play that hero, and they're very, very good at it. Like, for example, some heroes like Tor might have an insanely high pick rate in the game, but the win rate is kind of skewed because there's not that many people that play him, and the people that do play him at the highest rank are very good. But anyways, going on with the tier list, now that you guys have some of the data to kind of back up what I'm saying, as well as kind of give you guys what most of the higher ranked players are playing right now in the game. Moira is definitely in the S tier category for the reasons of she's relatively easier to play than I would say some other supports. But also, if you're able to build up your ult quite fast, it can be really good this season because globally, ultimates all have been nerfed by 12%, so that means it's a little bit more difficult to get your ult. But Moira can still build the ult really fast, especially if you're able to throw a bunch of damage orbs and kind of be able to build your ultimate very fast. And it depends on what your other healer is. If your other healer is a Zenyatta, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult to play as aggressive and throw out those damage orbs as you would want to, and that is simply due to, of course, your team complaining that you have a DPS Moira on the team. But you can see I've got all the medals right now for like damage and everything, and that can happen quite often as Moira. Like, it's not that uncommon. Even at higher rank sections of the game, you can have a boosted Mercy main that's playing DPS Moira, and she can still get all the medals, or he can get all the medals. But that's just normal for Moira because, again, the double shield doesn't allow the DPS to consistently throw out their damage. They're actually breaking shields a lot of times, and sometimes it's just difficult to notice that they're actually still doing a lot of work. But anyways, in the A tier category, I also put Lucio. So at the lower ranks of the game, you can actually get a lot of damage in by Moira and get a lot of kills because people are at very low HP because they don't have a Lucio to heal up the damage orbs that's getting all these chip damage. But let's say Ana's trying to heal like one healer. If everyone else is getting damage, it can be very difficult for the Ana to kind of try to heal everyone, especially if your team isn't all grouped up. Maybe there's a flanker, the Ana's trying to heal the flanker, whatever the case may be. Lucio trades with the damage orb quite well, and Lucio can actually build up his ultimate quite fast. And then on top of that, when Sigma lifts everyone in the air, Lucio can drop the beat. Usually, especially at lower ranks, the Sigma won't throw a barrier in the air to kind of block the lines of sight, so you can get a lot of good value out of playing Lucio, not only for, of course, speed boosting, helping the Mei, as well as Reaper, because those are kind of the flavor of the month. And if you guys haven't checked out my video guide for the best DPS, I'll also have that pinned down below in case you guys want to kind of check that out as well. But Lucio is just overall very strong going past certain areas, and also the potential to move enemies out of the way for certain things can be very good. But in the B tier category, I have Ana, Mercy, and Baptiste, and the reason why I have them over here is simply due to them being sometimes conditional, but sometimes it just might not be the best pick. For example, if there is no double shield on the enemy team, Ana could still be very good, but like landing a biotic nade on the enemy team to get that value of making it so they can't heal, it can be very difficult when there's 2 shields to really deal with. And then on top of that, like 2 CP, if you have a Genji, you can Nano Blade. It's still very good, but again, that's more conditional, and this is kind of more of a general video. Again, don't be afraid to run some of these heroes in the game, even though they might be considered lower on the tier list. Mercy can be definitely great against double sniper compositions, but for the most part, the flavor of the month right now, where I would say most people are playing, is going to be anywhere from silver to platinum, because that's where the majority of the Overwatch players will be playing at. You'll see quite often a lot more Reaper, Symmetra, and Mei, and so those will give you more value. And then Baptiste, a lot of times, especially at the lower ranks of the game, he can be quite harder to play, and a lot of times lower ranked players that play Baptiste or are learning him, they'll spam his jump too much, and it makes you a very easy target when you jump up in the air. So I can't really recommend Baptiste if you're just learning a hero, but he does offer a little bit more variety to your play. But again, a lot of times I'll see a lot of Baptiste play a little bit more like DPS than I will actually play a healer, so keep that in mind as well. Also, a quick little tip as Baptiste, you can actually sit behind your teammate, hold left and right click, and shoot in the same direction that they're shooting at, and you'll actually gain quite a bit of value simply by doing that. Because basically when you reload, it reloads both your primary and secondary fire anyways. But the thing is that sometimes it's harder to coordinate with your team, especially because I know I'm mentioning lower ranks a lot here. I'm not trying to dog you guys, but I have played at lower ranks of Overwatch just for memes, and a lot of times there's be people not in chat. You're like, hey guys, I want to use my Baptiste ultimate, let's follow up on it, or you'll put it out and people will just walk right in front of it and shoot past it. It's like, no, just sit behind it, shoot it, you get double the damage. But the thing is that's just, you know, sometimes how Overwatch is played, there's no communication going, and so that's why I put Baptiste here. But he can be very good with like a Bastion or some of these more bunker comps. He's very common to see, I would say, in very high rank games as well, and you can rely on them a lot more in the high rank games. They're not going to be jumping up and down getting hit by the Widow when you got double shields and the Baptiste is just hopping up trying to Michael Jordan some, you know, frags, but that just happens. Alright, so in the bottom tier category, I have Zen and Brig. Honestly, there's too many ultimates where Zen wants to pop his ultimate to get good value that he just won't be able to get, specifically against like Sigma ult, he might want to use his ult, against Orisa ult, he might want to use it, against Reaper ult, against Mei ult. Like, there's just too many things for Zenyatta to get a lot of good value. And even if you Discord orb someone, a lot of times what it really comes down to is someone is simply just gonna be out of your line of sights, but like it really comes down to the barriers just not letting Zen get that damage in that he really wants. But then lastly over here, we gotta go back up on this gameplay here because I still got more stuff to talk about. But anyways, so you guys saw, well, by the end of the game we had all the medals anyways, but again, as Moira, you will get medals, so don't feel like your team sucks because you have all the medals, which sometimes I understand that frustration as a healer. You're like, yo, I got the medals, DPS, what are you doing? And it's because they're shooting the shield. But I wanted to briefly mention Brig here. Now, I put Brig at the bottom of this list, but like, I mean, this is like literally the fact. She has the lowest win rate right now in the highest ranked section of the game, which again, if we go right now, just looking at the stats over here, she's the only one, look at that, 42% win rate, literally the bottom of the highest ranked section of the game. And it's more so conditional to like what your team is playing. Honestly, I like playing with a Brig. If we have like a Moira and Brig, the Moira can't focus in on throwing the damage orbs, which really allow your team to play aggressive with the coalescence. However, with Brig, I really like playing Doomfist because some of you guys know I've been basically trying to grind out Doomfist. I want to try to get top 500, well, specifically top 420 as Doomfist for the memes. But the thing is that if I get a Brig on my team, I'm like, yo, Brig, just 100%, just give me all those armor packs. I feel like I can pop off this season, and it's really fun to play with a Brig. However, for the rest of your team, it's really difficult to play Brig because people just break that shield so fast. I mean, it only has 200 HP. A lot of times when I see a Brig come up at me, you know, even playing as Doomfist, I'm just like, dude, I can break the shield by just primary fire. It's a joke. It really feels like Brig shield is just not enough this patch. If you go up to the Sigma and Orisa as Brig, they're gonna be like, oh, are you dumb? They'll just walk up to you and they'll just break the shield so fast, and then they'll use one of their abilities, halt, whatever, and you just melt so fast as Brig. She's really difficult to play. Like I said, even as Doomfist, I just go there and I just break her shield, and then she usually will boop you back, and then all you do is you're just charging up your fist the whole time, and you just slam right into her. She can't do anything. She can't stun you because the shield's broken. Like, it's just really difficult to play Brig. Against certain compositions, yeah, maybe you'd be able to deal with certain compositions, like maybe if they got like a Tracer. Tracer doesn't see too much play, honestly, this season as well. But like, if they're playing something super dive oriented, as well as maybe one flanker is getting really annoying, yeah, maybe Brig. But overall, I would say she might not be the hottest pick. I know she was like super OP for the longest time. Everyone complained about her, but dude, she got nerfed really hard with all the changes that have been going through. She got nerfed literally every single patch after launch. Like, there's probably like 30 plus nerfs on Brig, to be honest. It's insane how many times that character has been nerfed. Maybe she'll come back one day, but sometimes keep in mind, guys, there is flavor of the months. And once again, here's the tier list, so any of you guys that do want to check it out. But I would love to hear you guys' thoughts if you guys disagree, or if you guys would like to move anyone on the like S or A tier. Let me know down below in the comment section below. But like I said before, if you are new here and you do want to check out the DPS guide for the tier list, as well as the tank guide, I also already have those. You guys can just go ahead and check the pinned comment. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. And if you guys do want to catch me live, I'm streaming Overwatch pretty much every single day. Although a lot of times, honestly, it is waiting simulator if I'm playing on my main account, dude. I tweeted out, like, dude, I literally had an hour queue time playing as tank. Like, it is insane sometimes how long you have to wait at the higher ranks of the game. That's why I've been playing on my Smurf, and also DPS times, they're going to be long. That's just kind of how it is, because everyone wants to play DPS. But feel free to follow me on Twitch, and if you're new here and you enjoyed my content, as well as you guys want to see more Overwatch videos in the future, hit the subscribe button, turn on that bell, and you'll definitely see more. But thanks for watching. Have a good one. I'm signing out. Peace.